Welcome to my 2020 shop tour video. I haven't done one in 5 years. The first, I think, is my second video ever. And at that time, I just had a few basic tools in the shop. And today I felt like I had enough that I could sort of join the pantheon of shop tour videos and show you what you can do in half a two-car garage. I'm pretty proud of what I've put together here. As always, I will tell you what I paid for everything. Mostly I bought used, so I'm not embarrassed about that. And I'm also going to throw in a little quick montage of cleaning up that far corner over there, which is looking pretty grungy. So stick around, check it out. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And always appreciate you watching my videos. So I'll start off with the bigger tools, I guess. What I'll do is I'll talk about them and then I'll intersperse some footage of some zoom in and close-ups of it. So the big change as far as my last video, well, there's a lot of big changes, but as far as like large machinery, this is a Jet Super Saw, and it's a hybrid cabinet saw. I paid $500 for it, full cast iron top, and an actual Biesmeyer fence. So this thing has been a beast for me. I love it. It's fantastic. It actually came with a sliding table, and then the gentleman who I bought it from put on an optional second cast iron side support, and I just haven't bothered to put on the sliding table. I keep meaning to do it, but it would mean having to cut the tubing for the Biesmeyer fence in order to do that, because he also upgraded the fence. You're looking at my Robo Bench here that I built in a series of videos with a couple of vices on them. I'll do some close-ups of that as well. I paid like $40 for this little one that's actually kind of broken, and I paid $20 for this giant one here, which is in mint condition and is fantastic. So you never know, I guess. I bought this one first and then this one second. My planer, which I believe was in the last video, but I paid $100 for that. There's my jointer over here that I paid, I think, $180 for. That one's been great. This is my bandsaw. This is a rigid. I'm not crazy about it, as many of you people know. I've talked about it on the podcast, and I have talked about it in a few other places that I'm not crazy about it. I think this is the 14,000, something like that, the RS 14,000. It's okay, I guess, and I paid $180 for that, but I had to do some work on it. It didn't come with a throat plate, and a lot of the holes were not tapped properly. To put in some random bolt for the tensioner, I had to rethread everything. This is my CNC machine. I got it from Tim Sway because he's a great friend, and I paid nothing for it. I built this table for it, and I'm pretty proud of that. This is my hand tool wall. I got a lot of these planes very cheaply. Anyways, I don't know if I need to talk about every little hand tool, but this is my hand tool wall. That's my spray paint, solvent, and random chemical cabinet. It's the first cabinet I ever built. It's made out of pallets, basically. This is a whole area here for wood storage that I'm super proud of, because it's the first time it's ever been organized. Could it be better? Absolutely. But it's great for now. Let me see what else I have behind me here. So this is my Jet drill press. This thing is a monster. I had to lug it up a series of stairs, one stair at a time, by lifting it and then carrying it to my car by myself. Anyways, it's a beast. Like, this is an industrial drill press. It's fantastic. I love it. Even comes with a little light bulb. It's actually a regular, like, A19 socket, but I put in an LED bulb in there because it was hot and weird. So that's good. This is my belt sander disc sander combo. I've only recently made it work for me by epoxying in this disc plate onto the onto the shaft. It didn't work properly before. It would wobble because I couldn't get the set screw tight enough. This is a miter saw stand that I bought for 50 bucks. It's like 90% functional, and it's been great for the miter saw. I've done some outdoor projects, so it's great to be able to take this thing, wheel it outside, pop it up, and it's a great platform for a miter stand. Inside a shop, not that great. I'm gonna rejig, if you can see, this is the corner that I cleaned up earlier. I'm gonna rejig this whole area here to have a mobile miter saw stand, kind of like the one in Fisher's shop. He built one. I'm gonna buy those plans and I'm gonna build that miter stand. That's gonna be an upcoming video. I'm pretty excited about that. I'm gonna make it mobile. This whole stand here, this was an Izzy Swan design, the flip top. I never used the flip top, and I know Bill Lutz told me that I never would, and he's right, I never did. And it's kind of like too big for what the stuff is. So I'm gonna move this somewhere else. I will take this whole thing apart, use whatever wood I can from it. I'm gonna build a separate stand on wheels for the drill press, and I'm gonna build that miter saw stand. So this is like kind of like a feature I cannot change in this garage. And that is the central vac, all the piping and stuff that comes in here. Actually, the original one that came with the house blew, so I got this one at Sears for a song, and then I had to rejig some piping to make it work, so don't pay too attention to that, but it does work very well. Up here is where I keep my track for my True Track saw attachment, which I keep up there, and I have a whole series of tools that I keep up there. And they were all in the previous video, so there's nothing really to cover there. This is 18-volt Bosch Drill. I got this, the charger, and 2 batteries. They are the 1.5 ampere batteries, but this is an upgrade since my last video because I was using a 12-volt drill. And 12 volt's good for like around the house, kind of like DIY stuff. You gotta drill a hole into some drywall to hang up a picture, but in the shop, I found that it just didn't have enough power and it didn't last long enough. This has been fantastic, and having a second battery is great. I still have the impact driver that I got last time, which is a Black & Decker. Works great for me, and I love that. Here's another piece of equipment here that has been fantastic for me. Boom, down here. Okay. This is a Campbell Hausfeld 20 gallon air compressor, and I use it for HVLP. I use it for just spraying. I'll take you around here actually. Let's go around here. Let's go around here for a bit. Okay, and under here, if I can just get down a little bit lower, I keep my little air, just quick, just for blasting off a little bit of air here and there. I use it for obviously my nail gun and for HVLP spraying, which is terrific. And this thing is fantastic. I had a little one of those Porter cable pancake compressors, and even after like, I don't know, 8 or 9 or 10 brads or whatever, the thing would start going off again, and it's really loud because it's an oilless, so it's and it couldn't HVLP at all. So I upgraded. I paid, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I paid $200 for that. I had to drive a little bit of ways to get it, but definitely worth it. Game changer, and tucking it under my table saw outfeed table has been great. Speaking of which, I forgot to mention, so I have under here, I have my my DeWalt router, and this was a gift from a fan, I guess. Super nice, and it comes with a plunge base as well, which I keep in here along with my dado stack. But that one is a fantastic router. But what I need to do is I need to build a lift, and I talked about it on the podcast before. Under here is a bit of a mess, but there's a few things that I really use down here. One is I have 2 sanders that are both always plugged in to this little pluggy thing here, and I have 2 grits on here. I got 60 and I got 120. And I find it really handy to have 2 sanders ready to go with 2 different grits. Just makes things nice and easy. This thing actually, I love. I don't know if I've showed this before, but it just kind of just slips right in there. And then it's like a hold fast, but easier and better as far as I'm concerned. That's the Miles Craft bench clamp, and I really like that. And the other thing that I really like, that I use all the time from Miles Craft, are these little, let's call them tri-grips, but they're like bench cookies, but you can also stand them on end. They got a little point. So when you're painting something, I have 4 of them. Actually, I have 8 of them. I have another pack of them. They're fantastic. I love these. These are all shelving units that I built myself since then to keep organized. And they've been great. The other thing that I love, I didn't mention this, is this Work Sharp. And I got it for $100 from a gentleman whose brother passed away. And it came with all these different attachments and grits and stuff. And it's fantastic. This one's actually a strop attachment, and it's fantastic for sharpening anything and everything. It's great. I love it. And I got a series of clamps. I was trying to think, what didn't I mention? It's the last one. Bessy pipe clamps. Game changer. Love them. Fantastic. Dust collector. Forgot to mention my dust collector. I paid $100 for it. It's connected to my table saw, and I move it around to work with the planer or the jointer whenever I'm using them. Love it. Fantastic. It's a Delta 1 horse. I don't need anything more than that. Anyways, thank you very much, guys, for watching this video. I appreciate it. Questions, comments in the description below. And as always, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it.